Hi folks, welcome to the channel. Today I am joined by guitarist and educator Dave Simpson. Dave's built a huge following on YouTube by focusing on tone, feel and what actually matters when you're playing music, as well as life in touring rock band Red Giant. This is Dave Simpson. I hope you enjoy it. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my honour and privilege to introduce a good mate of mine who lives not far away, literally about 40 minutes down the road, the other side of the water, the YouTube sensation himself, Mr. Dave Simpson. How are you, mate?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to this. We've been trying to do this for ages, and then
Yes.
I'm busy, you're busy, and then we make plans, and then blah blah blah, and things happen, and etc. etc. So, but yeah, we're finally getting down to it. So it's good to see you, though, mate. You're looking well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, cheers.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. So what's happening? What's happening in your world then?
More of kind of the same kind of stuff, really. The only difference, really, at this point in time, is the guitar course I've started doing.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
like doing that has been quite kind of intense over the last couple of months. It came out in October, and it's been quite kind of like full on since then. I've got there's like a community thing on there and everything. So
is this something that you've been planning a while? Is this a new thing or?
it's a new thing. To be honest with you, people have been asking me for ages to like do a guitar course on how I solo, and I'm
Oh wow.
like, okay, I'm not going to do that. And then like I finally caved. Basically, is what I caved to the pressure, and finally got one going. But yeah, it's funny though, because try and explain how you play to people who don't necessarily think the way you think or
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the way you do. It's very difficult. Very difficult.
Yeah, yeah. You're trying to, I mean, you've got your own fingerprint, you've got your own stamp on it, and trying to explain how you think. It's a bit
Yeah.
like us looking at our idols as well. You know, I mean, when I was younger, I always wanted to be Clapton.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be Clapton.
Hey.
But you always you sit and study them, don't you? But then you realise actually it's hard to interpret. You can, fluctuate around the styles, can't you? But trying to explain your thing. So Dave, tell us. So let's just go back a little bit, if you don't mind. Tell us a little bit about your history and where you came from, and etc. etc. How did you get into doing what you're doing, into
Um,
music?
it came about really at the most perfect time. I literally just finished school. I was 15 years old, and I'd finished school, and I had no qualifications from school due to being excessively bullied at school. So I basically didn't go to school because I was too scared of it. And so I came out of school with no qualifications, and was basically like, I'm ruined. I've got nothing to offer anybody. I've got no prospects in life. At this point in time, music wasn't even a thing. I was manically depressed. So like, I hadn't listened to music for about 3 years, and I never had any desire to play an instrument. And then one night, my sister, who had started playing guitar, I heard her and my dad playing together, and I was like, "That's the coolest thing I've ever heard." And I watched them play, and I was like, "That's really cool." And then I asked my sister, I said, "Can you teach me something on the guitar?" And she taught me "Smoke on the Water" on the low E string, that that thing. And I literally brought the guitar back in here, and I was just I probably played that for like 4 hours straight. So I was like, "This is amazing," and that was it. Basically, I was away from that point on.
Fantastic. And was your parents into music? Were they?
My dad is. My dad's kind of one of those people who plays like loads of instruments. Like he plays whistle, like mandolin, banjo, guitar to an extent, and all sorts of other kind of like weird and wonderful instruments. But my mum wasn't at all. But when I because like basically for like a year I just kind of plinked around on this nylon string guitar, and then on my 16th birthday, my dad got me my first electric, which that was it from that point on. I was flying at that point. So yeah, that was kind of really where it began really. So it's kind of like my sister's fault really for getting.
And what was your first guitar?
It was a Washburn Maverick series. I've still got it.
Oh really? Oh wow.
It's like this little 3/4 size Strat copy thing with a humbucker and two single coils. It was the perfect guitar to learn on because it was so small and the action was like non-existent. It was just so
Yeah.
easy to play it. It was perfect. It really was.
Oh, fantastic. And what was your first amp?
PV Rage,
Oh,
1.5 trans tube amp. I've still got that as well.
have you really? Oh, wow. Saying that, actually, I've still got my very first acoustic that my
Really?
grandparents bought me. And it's in a case in another room. And I took the case out the other day and I looked at it and I went, ooh, that's a bit of a state. It's got no strings on it, but I'm sure it's got holes in the fretboard. I'm sure it's had woodworm or something in there
Yeah.
over the years, because it's just been in a case for so many years. And yeah, it was a nylon strung, and it was far too big for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember walking to school at 7 years old and walking back from school with this guitar. Everybody had guitars that suited them, the right size. I had this big jumbo thing that was, my grandparents got from Argos, which is to you guys in the States over there, it's some big department store. But yeah, so but yeah, I had that, and yeah, I've still got that in there. But yeah, it's a bit of a state, so I don't think it's ever going to be playable again,
No.
But
It's cool just because the memories of it and stuff.
oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, it's great, and that blue one there. That's my very first Strat I got when I was 13. So it's nice to be able to hold on to them things.
It is definitely. I agree. Like I said, I've got all my first 5 guitars. I still own them all, which is really really cool. And yeah, certain ones after that are kind of like fallen by the wayside. But the first, I think it's the first 5. They're all still around, so that's really really cool.
So when you were so obviously when you were learning, did you play in school bands or anything like that? Did you?
Oh no, like I say, when I was at school, I didn't play at all. I barely went from one thing or another. But I had no interest in music or playing the guitar at all. It just came along. Yeah, yeah, and at the right time as well. It really brought me back from the pits of that brink of going over the edge, so to say. And it really, really did. It really did kind of like. It sounds a bit cliche to say in a way, but it really did save me from not being here now, if you will. Kind of one of those. And I'm just grateful it did when it came along when it did, and it hit me so hard as well. I was like, wow! And from that point on, like I was like, I always want to do this. And then when I started playing gigs, I started gigging 6 months after I started picked up 5 6 months after I started playing the guitar. I started gigging, and that was fun
Wow.
because I couldn't play. I was still beginning, but nothing teaches you more than playing live. It really doesn't.
No.
Like
Mm.
playing from it's great.
Yeah, it's definitely the best feeling, and you can learn so much. You
Mm,
learn so much about yourself as well. I think with confidence, um,
definitely.
and all the mistakes you make along the way. You would kind of remember them a little bit. But saying that, the best gigs you ever do, you don't remember.
No, no, it's always the bad ones you remember. Like
Yeah,
but it's always the bad ones you're like, oh my god, I played really weird, or somebody threw a glass at you, or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
It really is.
I remember many, many years ago, I think I was 16, 17, and I was doing a Battle of the Bands contest in a place called Hornsey. I don't know if you know it, just on the East
Yeah.
Coast here. And I was involved in this Battle of the Bands contest. And anyway, that particular night, we didn't win. The band didn't win, but I got best musician for that night. I don't know how. I really don't know how. I think there must have only been 2 of us, but I remember getting that on video, and but I don't actually remember performing. Actually, remembering doing that bit, but watching back, I was going, oh yeah, that was probably one of the best things I ever did as a kid. One of the best gigs. But I don't really remember the process at the time. You know.
Mm,
But yeah, it helps you grow.
yeah.
Performing live. So
Yeah.
what happened after that then? I mean, what were your influences? What were what got you going at that point?
To start with, it was Green Day and the Offspring. They were kind of like I learned the Dookie album front to back. I learned Conspiracy One front to back, and then a man called John Frusciante appeared,
Oh, him,
and
him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
who's that? I don't know,
That fella.
but he appeared
Who's
along,
he anyway? Huh? Who's he?
and I heard, by the way, on like Kerrang TV, like when they used to play music videos, and I was just searching like, what is that? It sounded like, by the way, sounded nothing like any of the songs I was listening to, and also heard this guitarist, and then there was a Top of the Pop special, and I was just like, well, that's that then. That man's my and it never changed. It was funny. I went off in different directions. I learned Yngwie Malmsteen for a while, and then Jimi Hendrix and other bits and pieces.
Yeah, that's a jump from Yngwie Malmsteen to Frusciante, you know.
It was, yeah, and it was funny as well because John came along first for a bit, and then Yngwie Malmsteen came along, kind of like, kind of became numero one, and then um, and then John came back with force, and it was just kind of like from that point on, I was just like, this is it. As soon as I saw Top of Pop special of him playing, especially under the bridge, I was just like, good lord, sound, everything about it. I was like, I want to be that. I want to be like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's quite a powerful, powerful track that as well. I remember it coming out when I was younger. I think I was at college at the time or uni or
yeah,
something. What year was that? What year did that come
and
out?
on the Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I don't know if On the Bridge came out in '92
I
or
was going to say
'91.
92, yeah, around that time, wasn't it? Yeah, it was all around that whole kind of, Pearl Jam thing and all that kind of
Yeah.
Soundgarden and all that, Were they an influence to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, Mike McCready from Pearl Jam, he's one of my biggest guitar heroes again. Mike was the guitarist that made me kind of go like, yeah, like you can still play fast but really expressively. Because people like Ingve and people like Steve Vai, I know they've got expression, but it never reached me. Uh, when Mike would just kind of shred away, I was like, that really affects me, and that was when I learned all these kind of like really fast pentatonic runs that he would do, and I was just obsessed with that kind of thing, and his tone and his use of wah wah and delay and stuff like that. I was just like, I was gone with it at that point. So Mike was a big hero of mine. I did love Soundgarden, but I didn't really take much from them, and there's other bands as well, like Nirvana. I took a lot from Nirvana. Kurt was it a big influence more on kind of my songwriting, more than my kind of like guitar playing or anything like that. It's my my fascination and obsession with mass feedback from a guitar is definitely from Kurt.
Yeah, I remember having tickets for Nirvana. I think 92, I think it was around that time. And yeah, the gig got cancelled and we're like, oh no, and then I think 2 months later he was no longer with us. And it was like, oh. So I never did get to see them, but yeah, I was gutted. Yeah,
Yeah.
I myself was never a massive Nirvana fan.
Mm.
It wasn't, I liked Pearl Jam, liked
Yeah.
Soundgarden, but I kind of listened to them, and all my mates were into Nirvana in a big way, and I liked them. I think but I never got like heavily into them, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know why actually, But I mean, I wish I had seen them. It'd have been amazing, you
That
know.
would have been.
Yeah,
I think about that as well. It's like I was alive when that was going on. I mean, I was too young to go to anything like that, but the fact I was alive still kind of makes me go,
yeah.
damn.
Gives you goosebumps, doesn't it?
It does. It
Yeah,
does. It really.
I think one of the most iconic concerts I saw saw on TV was the Unplugged, MTV
Mm.
Unplugged. That's just so good,
Yeah, that is really.
just so good, And it's just so different, isn't it? You know, and
Yeah.
that I mean, there was so many influences as well with that. Even Clapton with his like the Unplugged thing, and iconic,
Yeah.
iconic,
Yeah. I mean, you
concerts.
don't get like that anymore either. It's really, really
No,
weird how that's kind of just gone now. Yeah. I mean, a lot's gone, to be perfectly honest with you. It's
yeah.
going.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I think we all look at things differently as well. I think a little bit. I think we all kind of sometimes wish there was, things move on. I get it, but yeah, there doesn't. It certainly at times it definitely doesn't feel like what it used. There's nothing really iconic. That grabs me at the minute. But apart from the old legends, obviously. But
Yeah. No, but think that's the word though. It's like that legendary thing of like, every kind of like era's had, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, like yeah, Bon Jovi, Oasis, Nirvana. It seems to be now that like the last kind of real big bands, really 2000s bands like we had like Linkin Park and stuff like that, all kind of guys, and Slipknot. Uh, and since then, it's kind of like there hasn't been any kind of like major kind of band. There's been like artists, no bands. It's all soloized, which is really really weird to me.
Yeah, yeah. So when you were from your influences then, from where you were, where did that take you from that point then? Where did your journey
Uh,
go from there?
well, I went back to community college and I was kind of learning just guitar. I mean, I've never had guitar lessons. I taught myself and uh, basically burying myself in music. And I started songwriting in 2003. Just the idea of kind of like, oh, I can do that. And then 2004, I wrote my first ever song, which I was really happy about. And I was like, wow, that's actually really not bad, which is hard for me to say because I think I do is garbage. But
Oh, far
but
from it, mate. Far from it.
um,
I've heard your stuff, mate, and it's great.
cheers, thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah,
You can give us that
that was
tenner later, by the way.
yeah. Okay. Um, it was just one of those things of like I was obsessed with technique for about 4 years or so, like being the quickest I could be, being the most fluid I could be. And then I went to London, and then London was trying. I went to college there, and it was trying to teach me how to be a session guy, and it didn't work for me. I discovered down there I can't read music because I'm dyslexic, so I couldn't read that. So sight reading was out of the question. Too long to do it. I can do it, but it's super slow compared to other people who can just literally just kind of like do this. It's just I'm just falling by the wayside. And when I came back, I was just like, I don't want to be that anywhere. I want to be able to write music and play what I feel. That was really the turning point. Like 2008 was like a big time where I was like, that's what I want to do. And then it took like even more years after that to kind of like be able to actually do that. It was a long time, but yeah, nowadays I actually prefer to write songs more than I do actually sit down and kind of work on technique and stuff. I actually just prefer to create music, and I get really bored noodling. Like I can noodle around the guitar for like maybe about 5 minutes, and I get really bored of it. And I'm like, right, well, what can I do with that? How can I use that in a musical way instead of it just kind of like being this kind of thing?
So when you are sort of songwriting, and I mean, what kind of brings you to these sort of ideas, and what kind of makes you why do you suddenly go, all right, this is going to work, or you know that kind of thing?
Uh, I don't know. It's the
Does it
people.
just does
People.
it just come to you, or does it do you just
Yeah, I don't ever. Writing music to me has always been this thing of I don't chase it. I don't chase songs. I don't chase pieces of music. They'll come when they're ready. Like sometimes I'll pick up guitar and there'll be nothing there, and then some days, like the other night, I wrote 4 songs in one night, and it's like, and then now I've got nothing again. Then today, guitar and there's nothing coming out of it, and a lot of people I think freak out about that, and I did initially when I had this kind of like big creative streak. I was writing loads of songs, and then it went away for ages, and I was a bit like, oh, that's it, I'll never be able to write a song again. And then I had another big creative streak, and that went away. And it's just one of those things of you should never chase music because it'll come to you when it's ready. Um, and it always knows better as well. The amount of times I've been writing a song, and I'm kind of like trying to shoehorn an idea that I've got into the song, and the song's just like, go away, Dave, pack it in. That doesn't fit. You can feel it. It's kind of like you're over egging the pudding, and yeah, it's just listening and I always call it submitting to music. And my other little saying that I always say to people is like, if you're a guitarist or a musician of any kind of thing, you're just a marionette to music. It makes you, and you don't do anything. You just submit to it.
yeah? And do you do your own lyrics as well?
Yeah. I do it. I do it all. a lot, if it depends on what the song is, but invariably I'll do the arrangement, lyrics, singing, all the thing, and I like to just be able to experiment and push things and see where I can go with it, and what can I do with it, and then the stuff that I go, oh, that's a Red Giant song, or that's a me song. Like for instance, at this point in time, I'm working on just acoustic songs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, something I've never done before is just like literally go, right, no electric guitars allowed, just an acoustic guitar. What can you do?
Great.
So yeah, we'll see where we go with that one. It
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be find out when it
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
out.
I always think that's really cool because it brings out all, warts and all, as well, because we can hide behind a lot with with different sounds and plugins or whatever, amps, whatever. We can hide behind, especially on electric guitar, you can hide behind that. With acoustic, yes, you can put effects on it, yeah, but your style's different, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. You're not getting backed of. That is it. You cannot hide. You can't do anything. You can't go in. And you can't just go, oh, I'll just stick a wah wah pedal on. It's like I'm not correct.
So the band you're in at the moment is Red Giant, you were saying, yeah, and so how's that going?
Yeah, it's going all right. So this year has been amazing. This year's probably been the best year I've ever had gigging. We finally did a tour. It was one of my. It's been one of my kind of like dreams to do since I first started playing guitar. I was like, I want to go on tour. I want to do like a tour of anywhere. It'd be just really cool. I finally got to do that this year. 24 years in the making. But like, and we did that, and it's really really cool. We got an EP coming out in April next year of 4 songs. We've got another album demoed. I've got the songs all demoed. It's just a case of like getting them to the band now and working on. That's 15 songs. So we've got a lot going on. We're looking for gigs at this point in time, which is always the fun part of being in a band in this day and age, is trying to find gigs.
And you toured with Troy Redfern, didn't you, this year?
Yeah.
Was that good?
The whole experience was amazing. It was just like an entire month, May front to back, was just amazing. Like I think we 19 gigs in all we did in that entirety of May, and it was just like it was a dream come true. It was literally like all the driving and stuff like that. I don't mind that anyway. I love driving, so it doesn't really bother me.
Oh man, I've spent so many years traveling. I'm like I don't want to drive anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get there at some point. Where I'm just like,
when you're as grey as me, mate, when you're as grey as me, this is mileage. Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like the band's doing great. And where have you been recording then?
We recorded the first album. Our debut album we recorded at Chapel Studios, which was like again another dream come true. The EP we've recorded where we did it at Superfly Studios near Newark, which is a wicked little. It's tiny compared to Chapel, but quite a lot of studios are tiny compared to Chapel. And we recorded there, and it was just ace. Like the really small little live room, and but it was just spot on. Like the vibe was really good, and everyone felt really comfortable there, and there was no settling in time. We just got on with it, and that was really really nice.
And good creative process as well.
Yeah, really good. I mean, we had run the songs a couple of times before in rehearsal, and we'd worked on them, and thrown ideas around of what we can do with different ones here and there from my initial demos of the song. We'd thrown around different ideas, and then we gigged them as well before we went into the studio, which I think is always a need thing to do. If you can, you want to be able to be gigging these songs because A, you get to see how people respond to them, and B, you're in kind of like survival mode with it because it's brand new. They've never heard it before. You've barely played it, and it throws you in the deep end. It just solidifies it even more so than it would do if you just went, we've rehearsed it, let's go into the studio. I would think do a gig with them first.
Have you got any gigs next year, Dave?
I've got a few, yeah. We're playing on the 5th and 6th of February. I forget where the 5th one is now. I forget where that is offhand. We're playing quite a bit at the Flying Circus in Newark. We've got 4 gigs next year. We've got 4. We normally go for 3 or 4 a year there because that we call that our home. Because like when we were just kind of coming up, like the Flying Circus as a venue, it really supported us and just helped us. Like it was always like, I'll give you a gig, I'll give you a gig. So we always try to go back there. It's always a free gig. There's no cover charge on the door or anything like that.
Oh, right. That's great.
Try to go back there at least 3 or 4 times a year, just because, again, like I say, it's home, and I think it feels like I always feel like a band needs a venue like that where no matter what happens, you always know where they're going to kind of be. It's like a residency kind of thing.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And it's always nice to have that feeling, isn't it? I mean, when as an engineer, when I go into venues and you know people and you know the crew, you know what you're going to get. You always know that you're going to get, go in and have a good gig. You know the gear, the staff, the crew, etc. It's always a really good feeling, and it makes your life so much easier.
Yeah. I mean, on the tour, like we were playing venues that I could only have ever dreamt of, and every sound guy we bumped into, because we're really quick at sound checking, we don't really need a great deal. And in my monitor, I have my vocal, and that's it, because I like to hear the back line. I don't want to hear anything else.
Oh, mate, you're a dream. Why is everybody not like that?
People, but sound guys are always like, "What do you want in your monitor?" I was like, "Just my voice." And they're like, "Don't you want anything else?" I was like, "No, I can hear that. I don't need that. I don't need anything else. I've got the drums and the bass and the guitar. I don't need anything else. So just the vocal, just smashing me in the face. That's all that matters. Just so I can pitch." Yeah, that's it.
One channel monitor board, great.
Yeah. we did a gig down south at the factory in Worthing, and we did sound check, and the sound guy was like, "How was that?" And I said, "Yeah, that was great." And he goes, "Really? Because I ain't got your monitor on. You just did that without a monitor." And I was like, "Well, that's fine." It's so many years of gigging without monitors. Like, when you play in a pub, you can't have a monitor in front of you because some drunk person's going to fall over it and smash into you. So you can't have monitors. So it was that idea of really listening to your head and what you can hear in your head. And yeah, I liked it. So he was like, "I've never had anybody sing a sound check in tune without using it." So I was like, "Yay!"
And do you not use IEMs?
No, our drummer does, and Kira, the bass player, she will every now and again, and John Joe will every now and again. Most of the time, it's just I just put foam earplugs in and I've done with it. I find I've got a funny thing with my ears. It's really funny as well. It's like if I don't wear earplugs in a really loud music environment, I fall over. I lose balance and just keel over. So I have to wear earplugs to kind of keep myself balanced. And
it's almost like a vertigo type.
It's very weird. Yeah, it's kind of like somebody gets in my brain and scrambles it. It's weird. So if I wear earplugs, I'm fine. But I've had sometimes like where gigs where my earplugs falling out, and I'm like, ah, it's horrible.
Wow.
But,
wow. That's but I mean, I'd feel the same if I had a drummer smashing my ear,
Not fun, mate. And it's like, shut up. Stop hitting that cymbal.
Bloody drummers, yeah. So obviously you now do the YouTube thing as well. You've got your YouTube channel, and your channel's massive. It's great. It's and it's always great and entertaining. What made you go down the YouTube thing? I mean, how long have you been doing that?
12 years.
12. Wow.
I started in 2013. YouTube started in 2008, so I was very early in. And what started it, I was watching Anderton's, well, it was Rob Chapman's channel at the time, but I was watching the Anderton's videos, and I was watching Phil X on Fred Americana, and I was like, this looks like fun. So it was those three, Rob, Lee, and Phil, who made me go, right, I'm doing this. And luckily, I knew a vintage guitar shop, about 25 minutes away, called Old Hat, and I knew them really well in there at the time. And I said, like, could I start doing videos for YouTube? And they were like, what the hell is YouTube? What's that? And I said, trust me, I think it'll help. And so the owner was like, yeah, go on and fill your boots. So I started off doing that. And then in 2014, was it 2014? Yeah, 2014, 2015, yeah, give or take. The owner went a bit batty and basically shut down the shop and then reopened it again like a month later when he freaked out that I was gone by then, and John, the guy I was worked with, was gone by then, um, and basically it was this thing of like, well, I don't want to stop doing YouTube after all like old hat stuff. But I thought no one's going to watch my channel now because they're used to seeing all these amazing vintage guitars. I've got Mexican Strats and cheap Marshalls. Like no one's going to care, but it seemed to become me. I did it anyway because I loved it, and I still do. I still love doing YouTube and making videos, and it. I'm not sure where YouTube's going.
Yeah.
At
Mm.
music guitar YouTube, it's not what it used to be. Sadly, having lived through it's not what it used to be, and where it's going to end up, I don't know. But like I say, until YouTube throws me off or kicks me out or implodes, I'll be making videos on there. So
Great. And do you enjoy it?
but yeah, it like I say, to this day, it's one of those things where if I get a new guitar, I'm excited to demo it. Like I have to keep thinking of different ways to do videos just because of algorithmic things and stuff like that. And but stuff like that. I mean, I just love it though. It's just great fun to go. I've got a new guitar. Here's some music that comes out of it. It's just really cool.
Yeah. And I suppose it makes a lot of relationships as well, doesn't it? You know.
It does. Yeah. It's funny the thing. Yeah, the amount of stuff that it's enabled me to do over the years is insane. It really is. As a platform, it's been really, really, really helpful, and it's given me career. It's given me a career up to this time in music. Again, is the main reason for that is YouTube, but at the same time, it's the people who follow me more than that. Yeah, if you don't follow me, it doesn't mean anything. All the people that follow me and support me and help me along and watch my videos and comment. I mean, that's if they weren't there, I'm nothing. I'm not there. It's they're so important to me and mean everything to the community I've got on YouTube. Ridiculous, it really is. I love it. I'm so proud of it.
Yeah. No, your channel's great, and it's certainly inspired a lot of people. You know, and you know.
I don't know how that happened, but
No, it has. You certainly inspired a lot of people, and people enjoy watching your videos, and it's taking you to things like the guitar show in Birmingham as well.
yeah,
We bumped into it, over there, haven't we? And you're there again in March, is that right?
yeah. I'll be there in March for Boss of it. I'll be there basically bigging up the katana, going, it's the best amp in the world. Don't buy anything else. You just need this.
You just need that.
But,
Yeah. Well, it is a great amp, though. It is a great amp.
I've used mine this entire year live. Just the bog standard 100-watt head. It's just been a dream. It just sounds. I absolutely adore that thing.
So what's? I wanted to ask you because you've got so many guitars, right? And I've been down at your house before, and you've got loads, right? What's your thoughts today compared to years ago, or when you was first starting out, on budget brands? Because when I started, budget brands were budget brands. They weren't great.
Yeah.
Some of the brands that are coming out now, fantastic. Certainly value for money. And not just guitars. Effects units as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for example, just one little example. This incredible, the Vailton GP5. I've just done a video on that, and amazing value for money. What's your take on that kind of thing?
It's gold. We're living in the golden era. Absolutely of gear from cheap to expensive, all been amazing. Pedals, amps, guitars. I mean, you only have to look at like Jet guitars or classic Squire classic vibes, and then you got like the Tone City pedals and Boss Katanas. But then you've got you look up at like even more kind of expensive like Gibson stuff, and it's just how the choice we have. Even like when I started playing guitar, I didn't see a real Gibson Les Paul standard till 2009. I saw studios, but a standard was like, whoa, what the hell's that kind of thing? Everyone had studios because every shop around here, you didn't see them. You just didn't see them. And with the pedal cabinet was like a couple of Boss pedals and a Crybaby. That was it. And it's mental now. Like when you like go to like shops like Anderton's and they've got that huge pedal cupboard.
Yeah.
I think, wow, it's mental. And again, it really does benefit every level. Like, from beginner stuff to intermediate to advanced. It's all obtainable. Budget stuff is amazing. Expensive stuff is amazing. You just can't go wrong. It's just ridiculous. It really is.
And so, what if you could take a budget brand currently? What would be your go-to? So we're at Christmas, right? It's Christmas time. Okay, what are we on today? 19th of December, right? Okay, so if you're saying to young guitarists starting out or parents wanting to buy something for the kid, and you say, right, he wants a guitar and an amp and something to sound good, what would you kind of aim for, or what would you?
I would say you are a Boss Guitarna.
Of course you do. But the amp or the headphone unit or
the amp.
headphone?
I would say it's got a headphone adapter as well. So you can. I would always say the amp just in case they ever wanted to kind of like go around and jam with their mates or anything like that. So I'd always say get Boss Guitarna and a Jet JS300, or anything like that, because the Jet guitars are just ridiculous value for money and they're amazing. I say pair that with a Guitarna, good lead, you've got to sell. You're away at that point.
Yeah. I mean, the Guitarnas are great. They are great. They're a Stapleton, really. I mean, I've mixed so many bands that I've just turned up with a 50-watt Guitarna, and I recently did a show at an arena in Hull, and the guitarist just turned up with Boss Guitarna 50. I was like, really? Unbelievable.
Absolutely, it's just mental like how, because the amount of people that kind of like on the tour, because like I say, I mean, it lived in a van for a month. They're like, how did it hold up? Like, did anything break on it? And I'm like, no, I mean, touch wood. But they are really built to kind of like be kicked about, Boss. But again, Boss don't really make anything that isn't built to be kicked about. All their pedals, and they're always really hardy.
I'm looking now. I've got a shelf here full just of Boss pedals, and they're just. I look at the other ones next to it and I go, but they look good, They're built like tanks, aren't they?
They proper are. Absolutely. They're just like, you can kick them about, you can stand on them, you can really give them a beat. They'll just keep going.
Well, they're built to be stood on. Quite literally, they are great. You can't really go wrong, can you? So you would say a Jet guitar, Boss Guitarna, and anything else?
I would always recommend multi-effects units. I mean, like you speak about the Veilton stuff. I mean, some of their like effects units are fantastic, and there's Zoom multi-effects units like the G6, or I think it's called.
£64, £65.
Yeah, there you go. Again, like I say, golden era. It's just outrageous what we can get for the price these days, and kind of like what we can actually do with it. It's just like,
it's bonkers.
It really is. It's absolutely incredible, and it is great. I do love that.
Yeah. So what are you playing now then? What you got?
This is a real 62 Strat. It's really thin, but it's kind of like my pride and joy. Well, one of my pride and joys. But this is just one of those guitars that, when I picked it up for the first time, I was like, I need to get this, no matter if buts or maybes, kind of thing. And through some people on YouTube's help, I did this like little GoFundMe that then people donated to help me get it, and most of it, and they helped pay the rest, kind of thing.
Wow, so that's fantastic.
It took me pay it off. So.
And how long you had that then?
2017, I got this one, so quite a while now. And I say, as long as again, touch wood, nothing goes wrong, it'll be with me until I can't play it anymore and I'm not here. Then it won't matter, because I won't be around to know.
That's going with you, is it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I always say that about the blue one. I always say, that's coming with me. You're not having that, kids. No. It's not yours.
my white Strat is that's the one that's definitely like, you know, that's the guitar that taught me how to play. I learned everything on. I play it every day. Oh, I play this every well. I say I play this every day. At this point in time, the frets are absolutely knackered, so trying to bend on it is like ah.
Do you do all
So
your own maintenance on your guitars, or?
everything but refrets. I haven't learnt that yet, but this is going in January to get refretted for the third time in its life.
Wow.
But they're absolutely trolleyed. There's like nothing when you bend. There's nothing there. It's so hard to play now. It's great for artery kind of stuff and chords, but when you go to bend, there's no fret there. And your fingers just keep doing this. But so it's going in for another refret. I'm going to get jumbo frets put on it.
Yeah. And what's your most recent purchase then? What have you recently been? Because I know what you're like about with new guitars. You must have a new guitar every month, do you?
Probably surprised me. Most recent one I got was probably I bought a satellite Les Paul copy from the 70s that somebody like modded extensively. So I think the only things left of it are the neck, body, and the frets, and I think everything else has been changed. And it's a great Les Paul. It's plywood body, but I always think they when they're set up right, they're great. They take a bit of setting, bit of messing around with, but once they're right, they're away. And that that's my newest one that I got, and I got it for like 80 quid, I think it was, or something like that. And when it came, it was like the action was like that high, and like the intonation was out, and the pickup had like fallen into the body and stuff like that. But a bit of work on it, and away it flies, and it's a seriously great Les Paul.
Talking
really
about
does.
pickups,
Mm.
I still haven't found that pickup. So,
Oh,
for those of you that don't know, Dave did a video on a Gretsch Streamline. Is it a Streamline? I think no. No, Electromatic, isn't it? Electromatic, yeah. So, and I had this Gretsch that I got from another pal of mine, and I was going to do it up, and I ran out of time. I completely ran out of time and said to Dave, it's yours. Do what you want with it. Make a video out of it. And you did. And it looks great. Did a great job on it.
Yeah. It's a mad guitar, that as well, because I got a song out of it that I was really, really proud of. It's going to be on the second album. And it was just one of those things where I plugged into it one morning. This entire song came flooding out of the guitar, recorded it with it. By the end of the day, it was finished. So it was just one of those moments where it's just like, this guitar's amazing. It's got full of music. So
wait, that alone has made my day. That's fantastic. That's brilliant. I mean, that you can actually, I mean, when I gave you it, it was in bits. It was a mess, and I got it so far sanded down, but I just ran out of time. And and how many videos did you do? Was it 3 or 4 videos, something like that?
Yeah, I can't actually remember. I think it was 3, but yeah, again, I'd have to look back at that.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah. But
quite a few. Yeah, it took a bit to get, but I say once finished, I was like, this is a great guitar.
Yeah. So you've done a song with it. Fantastic. That's great.
Yeah. We're coming into the studio for the next Red Giant album. That will definitely.
I didn't know if it was actually going to be any good, to be honest with you. I thought, is it going to work? Is it, is it just firewood? Because it had been stood for a while with me, and say my mate Rich had it beforehand, and I got it off him, and then and I thought, is it going to work? But yeah, great, fantastic. So you got a song out of it, and it's going to be on the use it on the album. And...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the song it wrote is going to be the song it records, because it's just got the right sound. The song's kind of like a Bryan Adamsy kind of song.
Oh, right.
Bye, and it's got the right jangle. It's sound, and it's so good. And the only part of the song I didn't use it on was the guitar solo, and I did another double track guitar, which wasn't it. But the main guitar and all the bits you hear are here. But for the guitar solo, I needed an. It's got a Bigsby, the Gretsch has, but I needed an actual Strat kind of trem. I needed something a bit different for that. That'd float a bit easier and give me a bit more of a dive. But yeah, it was this cut. And the thing is, it's a rhythm guitar dream. Like, it's just this big jangly sound, and the guitar looks like Malcolm Young's now as well. So it's got that going for it.
Well, it will do with one pickup.
Yeah, it's so good. It's such a cool guitar. Really. I love it.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Oh, I'm really pleased about that, mate. Really pleased. You know,
Oh, so
something useful, has come out of that. And, and I knew, when I said it to you, Dave will do good with this. He'll sort it out. That's fantastic. Dave, listen, mate, it's been fantastic talking to you. And really, really hope everything's, for next year with the band and everything. And, we'll have to try and, I need to come and see the band. I ain't seen the band yet. I need to get to a gig. I mean, either I'm away on tour, busy, or, not in the country or whatever. And, we never seem to kind of, align, even though you're just 40 minutes down the road, it's like, but no, I'll get across to see the band, hopefully. So when we'll put some, let us know what your dates are, and we'll put some dates in the comments, and, and tell folk out there, and hopefully we'll get to go and see the band and catch up with you. And if not, Birmingham Guitar Show, I don't know, what's the dates for that?
Forget now, I can't remember.
Around the first of March, beginning of March, I think, around that time, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah. I know it's around that time anyway, because I've got a nice surprise coming that day as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So new guitar for me. So right, Dave, fantastic, great talking to you, and all the best, and we'll see you soon.
All right, see you again.